Disaster at sea. This is a scary, scary situation to be in. What do you think about that clip? You think our audience can handle it? I think they can. Our audience can handle it. Let's do it. Let's put that clip on. All right, get it ready. Good afternoon. I'm Steve S.H. Walters reporting for Breaking News 500 here in beautiful Vero Beach, Florida. Today's topic is the film The Poseidon Adventure. Now, before we get on to the Poseidon Adventure, if you haven't subscribed, just take a second and go bing, subscribe. We greatly appreciate you. Helps this content, come flowing your way. And we want to thank all our loyal subscribers. Now, without further ado, let's get on to the Poseidon Adventure that was released in 1972, the original. We always got to go with the original. I'm not into remakes, as you know, and I haven't seen the remake, and I'm never going to see the remake. That's how I roll. We stick with the original. 1972, directed by Ronald Neame. Now it stars Gene Hackman, Ernest Borgnine, Red Buttons. Really, they have an all-star cast in this, folks, with Carol Lindley, Stella Stevens, Shelley Winters, Jack Albertson, and Rodney McDowell. Now, the basic story is this. The SS Poseidon, well, it's on its final voyage. It's left New York City and it's going to Athens. Well, while they're out at sea, and this cruise ship is during the holidays, and it's Christmas time and New Year's. Now it's New Year's Eve, and everybody's having a good time and they're celebrating. Well, just as they start to really celebrate, it just struck New Year's, this tsunami wave comes, hits the ship, flips the ship over. Now the ship is upside down in the middle of the ocean. Most everybody has died. But there's a group of people that have survived this, and now they're trying to continue to survive and avoid that rising water that's coming up in the ship. What do they do? How do they get out of this? This is a serious, tough situation, scary, scary situation. But they're trying to make the best of it, and they're trying to help each other, and they're trying to figure things out and survive that rising water and work their way up toward the top. Well, they're working their way up toward the top, but they're working up toward the bottom of the ship. How are they going to get out? What are they going to do? It's crazy. It's wild. It's scary. And we've got a clip of them in the course of this trying to survive this and figure things out. And it's pretty wild. We weren't sure if you could handle it, but we know you can handle it. Our audience can handle it. It's a great clip. Are you ready? You're ready. Okay, Marvin, you ready? Let's do it. Roll the clip. Oh, you're back. What do you think about that clip? Woo! Was that wild, scary? What a situation to be in. Do they survive? Well, you got to watch the film and find out. Back in the 1970s, Hollywood was releasing all these disaster films. Of course, there was the Poseidon Adventure released in 1972, Earthquake released in 1974, Towering Inferno 1974, Avalanche 1978. All these disaster films were coming out like this. I grew up during that time, and I tell you, it was a pleasure and a privilege to go to a theater and watch the films back then. Great storytelling, great acting, great action. Didn't have all the technology we have today, but they put out some great films. The writer, Paul Gallagher, he was inspired to write the Poseidon Adventure because he was taking a voyage on the Queen Mary. He was having breakfast in the dining room when a large wave hit the ship. Well, there was no damage to the ship, and nobody got seriously hurt, but people were being thrown across the room. Furniture was being thrown. Everybody was scared and more shook up than anything else, and that inspired him to write this film. They shot the film in sequence, in the order that it went, which is great because everybody was getting tired and stressed out making this film. They were getting bruised up, minor cuts, this and that. Well, that all showed in their appearances and in making the film, which made it for a more realistic film. So I thought that was very good. And actress Stella Stevens said that when she read the script, she knew whoever played the fat lady Belle would get an award, a nomination, an Oscar nomination. Well, she was right about that because it was such a great and juicy part, and Shelley Winters played that part, and she got the Academy Award nomination for Best Supporting Actress. They also had 5 awards and 18 nominations. It was a box office success with a budget of only $5 million and did over $84 million worldwide. Now, Gene Hackman, he was one of the main characters and stars of this film, and he ends up dying at the end of the film. Well, later he was approached by the producers for a remake or a sequel of the Beyond the Poseidon Adventure that was released in 1979. And they asked Gene, we'd like you to be in this film, we'd like you to star in this film. And he says, do you remember? I died in the Poseidon Adventure. They said, well, we'll work around that. You know, we'll make it, you'll make you the twin brother. He's like, well, I don't think so. Very good call, Gene. Very good call. That's very weak. Now, I haven't seen Beyond the Poseidon Adventure. I don't know if it's any good or not. I won't go see it. But to even suggest that, that's weak. His character was killed off. He's done. He's gone. Try to put him as a twin brother. Come on, Hollywood. Come on. Now, Jack Albertson, who was great in this film, he played a lot with his, character that played his wife was Shelley Winters. Well, him and Shelley Winters weren't getting along too good, and a fan did ask him once, what was the best part about making this movie? And he says, when Shelley Winters passed away. Kind of brutal, Jack. Kind of brutal. Now we got a special little treat for you, public reviews. Not user reviews, not critic reviews, public reviews. I'm changing the title. Why? Because the public, you and me, what do we think about this film? What's our opinions? We really count. Public reviews. Are you ready, Marvin? You know what I'm going to ask for? Drum roll, please. Thank you, Marvin. Appreciate it. And here we go. Public reviews. What do we got? I've only got 3 of them, folks, but I think they're pretty good. But I can't remember everything, so let's see what the public has to say. Our first guy says, after seeing this movie, you might think twice about going on a cruise. Released in 1972, it was made well and had some great special effects. The movie was compelling, touching, and sad at the same time. We get to know the characters, and you can't help but pull for them as they go through what seems a hopeless situation. I agree with that 100%. I couldn't have said it better myself. Hey, I did say it. See what a great storytelling they did back then? All right, number 2. Number 2 says, The Poseidon Adventure is supremely entertaining flick from the days when blockbusters were amongst the best movies out there. All right? And our last one, 3rd, says, still seaworthy. Anyone who has ever seen as many disaster films as I have knows this is the best disaster film ever made. For a film over 50 years old, Poseidon Adventure is so effective, it would cause anyone to think twice about booking a cruise. Well, I agree with that. I probably shouldn't put this out there, folks. I've never been on a cruise. I've thought about it. I've had family and friends that gone on cruises. I've never been on, a regular cruise. I've been on a boat to Catalina out of LA, little trip over to Catalina. But I've never really been on a, ocean cruise. Maybe one day. Maybe because I saw Poseidon Adventure. Maybe basically that's why I'm not going. Now, this film can be seen on Prime Video, YouTube, and I'm sure a few other places. I want to hear your comments about this film. What do you think about the actors, about the characters, the way they did the film, the way the film ended? It really is a great film, and it still holds up to this day. I hope you've enjoyed this look back on the Poseidon Adventure, released in 1972. I'm Steve S.H. Walters for Breaking News 500. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.